So my publisher wanted a very quick turnaround as far as when everything was going to get put out. And I understood that that was their process, that was their way. But one of the things I also stressed with them is that I wanted to get this professionally reviewed. And in time that they wanted to put something out, by the time I had that final product to be able to push out for art copies to readers and things like that, it wasn't fitting in with their time frame. So I was like, we have to delay this so I can get this professionally reviewed. So we had to delay it several months. And part of the problem is during this delay, COVID happens. I was like, oh, things were crazy because not only did COVID happen, but I also got a new job during this time period, both I'm still in education, but my new job, I had to end my current teaching job on Friday, March 16th. My current teaching job that I'm still in the role in now, 5 years later, thankfully, it's been an amazing job. But that started on that Monday, and I had to hit the ground running. Now, part of the other problem besides that new job started on the very first day of COVID shutdown for the education school system in my state. Wow. So there was a lot I needed to do, and I hit the ground running. It was busy, 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 but I do love my job, so it made things far easier for me despite the shutdown. Part of the other issue with me is that I'm still working a second job because unfortunately, a lot of teachers have to work second jobs. And so during the majority of this time, I am working a second job. Now, this is where I say I continue to be the problem because I continue to be the problem. Now, I'm working full time. I'm working a second job. We're trying to publish a book. But if this book does well, I need to have book two out, right? I need to have it ready. So I'm finishing up / writing book two, trying to get everything going with that as well. Now trying to also do social media and get my name out there. It was a lot. I was pushing myself way too hard, way too many directions. And it was crazy. It was an absolutely crazy time for me. And I forgot the biggest piece of the puzzle. I forgot that I'm going to have to make sure that I reach a certain number of sales to get that second contract. Yeah, man, did I screw this up. I don't know how I overlooked it, how it slipped my mind. I don't know. I honestly do not know. It was crazy. This whole time frame, how everything happened, ultimate high. Then all of a sudden, we have to fast forward 3 years. I am still working in the school system. I ended up having to stop my second job. So I've got more time on my hands. I'm trying to do everything I can to market Dark Days to get people to buy. Well, the owner of the company has a marketing background. Any other time I've met with him, he was very awesome, very good to work with. Like, I'm like, I don't know what else to do because I'm trying. So I need your help as a marketing person to, what can I do? Just help me. I need to know what's going on. What am I missing? So I met with the owner of the company in 2023 early, roughly around February or so. And instead of this being a meeting about marketing that I thought it was going to be, he said, look, your contract ends in October. So we're not going to renew it. We're not going to get a book two. And I'll be honest, even now, I hate having to talk about it like this, but it's the way it happened. I missed the mark for sales. And with the number of sales that I had, there was no way I was going to meet the mark of what I was supposed to. And so that's it. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? So they have three options. So option one is you do nothing, absolutely nothing. Your book goes away. It's not for sale. It's nothing. It's gone. And I also believe with that option, you don't have your rights back either. Like there's nothing, you can't do anything to it, but I could be wrong. But option two was you buy your rights back to the book. You pay X amount of dollars, and I'm wanting to say it was about $1,800. You get your rights back, but it disappears from shelves. You can still put it out if you want to, but you have to start all over again. All the reviews disappear, everything that, it's gone. What? That's a lot of money. And I'll be honest with you, I paid over $7,000 to get this published to begin with. So $1,800, everything I've previously worked for, because I'm going to tell you, getting reviews was a pain in the butt. I mean, the entire process was a pain in the butt. I had X amount of people that was like committed to doing ARC reviews and things like that. I think I had 3 of the people commit for ARC reviews. I mean, it was such a struggle, like basically begging people to read the book. Please make sure you review. I mean, everything that pretty much all indie authors go through. It was just terrible. It really was. So I was like, I don't want these reviews. I don't want anything to disappear. I'm tired of this costing me more money. But option three was roughly, and I think it was about $1,600. It was a couple $100 less. I buy my rights back. Everything stays put, stays online. You keep your reviews, and we format everything. All you need to do is make sure you have an Ingram account, and you're good to go. I was like, well, it's the cheaper of the option. Everything stays. I keep my reviews. That's fine. I was like, that's the way I got to go. I have no choice. No choice. After everything I've invested, after I've paid to get it published, after I've paid for reviews, after I paid for awards, all of that, I'm over $10,000 in the hole right now. And I'm wanting to say at this point, it was around 12 to 13 that I was in the hole. Now, granted, I was working 2 to 3 jobs. My second and third job helped finance everything in the publishing world. And it is what it is. I accepted the fact that I needed another job to do extras. Doesn't matter. But I did it because I wanted this dream to come true. It's been a nightmare because all that money put in, and now I'm back to square one. And actually, I'm worse than square one. Because I also, in order to do this, I didn't have to do this, but I'm thinking long term, what am I going to do? The publisher had suggested this, and it came out to a good move. I decided to form Polar Press, make my own company, got my own logo, all this stuff. But I don't trust myself in setting everything up because I don't want Uncle Sam to come after me and say, I forgot to do X, Y, and Z. I owe a ton of extra. Something doesn't matter. Like in my mind, it's doomsday scenario. They're shutting me down. I'm going to owe even more money. So I got my accountant to create the business and make sure everything's set up properly. So that cost a lot to do as well. But I did it, and I put out Polar Press, and Dark Days stayed alive. I tell you what. It was a pain. And I learned so much from this process, and so much of it has been negative that I have learned. Dark Days, I thought is a good book. I really did. It won 7 awards for action, young adult, fantasy, all kinds of stuff. And it was so frustrating because even though I thought that this company that I went with was going to help me out, they did nothing to help me out. I had been alone all this time, so I figured if I go ahead and just form this business, it's not going to hurt because I've already been alone. And I know I'm going to sound like I'm going to badmouth this company, and I'm going to kind of go to because I want people to learn from my experience. And this is how it went. So with one aspect, when you're looking at the awards alone, the company had a lot of award-winning authors. It was actually pretty cool that so many of their authors had won awards. But there was nothing highlighting us except for one page. And there was one page with everybody who won the award. And let's just say the font is about 10, 12 Roman Times New Roman type deal. Nothing flashy, but it had our name and a book and the award that we want. But it just had everybody down the list. And it wasn't like no graphic of the book, nothing. And I'm like, shouldn't you like have some type of banner like scrolling, highlighting my book and all the others, of course. I'm not just trying to think about me, But everybody who won an award have an icon of that award that they have, that seal that they won, and be proud of the fact that you have so many authors that had won awards. And it should have been a red flag that if you've got a head that's on marketing and then you're not helping your authors get notice, it should have been a red flag. But I didn't know that then. And that's what I want to prevent with my company. But that's a long-term goal. I also had to learn too that with this company, when I ordered author copies, so with the publisher, when I ordered author copies, I was told two things. One, that this is what I was told when I ordered them. I had to order a minimum of a case. I was like, ooh, that's a lot, like 20, 30, or 40 bucks, depending on the size of the book per case. That's a lot of money at once. Well, now that I own my own company and I deal with the exact same distributor, I found out I can order 2 or 3 copies if I wanted to. So I was like, that's not right. It's pretty messed up in my opinion. And then the thing I didn't know about as well. Now, granted, I didn't understand that second half. I didn't know I could just actually order 2 or 3 books. I found that out on my own. The second thing that really stunk is that he told me, he's like, the other benefit of you forming your company and doing this on your own is that you won't have to deal with our markups on the books you buy. And I'm sitting there going, what? What? So I found out that part of the reason why you're going to make sure that I sell a case or buy a case is because you have now marked, and this is actually true, it was about $3 markup per book. I was paying, like, it's roughly, I think, about $9 for me to buy a Dark Days book. And I'd have to go to see if the price has changed because I haven't bought, it's been a while since I bought a Dark Days book, because I bought to see my company's logo. I did buy one then, and that's how I found out I can just buy one if I wanted to. It's pretty messed up. So it was about $9, I think, for that book. But with the publisher's fee and time you add in the shipping and everything, it came down to $12 a book is what I was paying for. So yeah, no wonder you want me to buy a full case, 20, 30 books, getting $3 a book. Yeah, that's some more money in your pocket. So you charge me to publish the book. You're charging me to buy author copies. You're charging me to leave the company. I learned. And that's why this became a nightmare. It was just heartbreaking. I mean, absolutely heartbreaking with all of it. I thought I had a great story. I still believe in the story. I thought I was doing all the right moves, getting reviews. The publisher encouraged me to do awards. And I get that. Like, I understand, like, having these awards, winning these awards could, I thought, bring credibility to your name as well. In the grand scheme of things, I don't know if the awards actually help or not. I mean, between awards, between a review, publications and all that, alumni association, social media, my blogging, all that stuff, ultimately I failed. I didn't get the sales that I needed with all these things that I thought I was doing right, all the things that people were telling me to do to make sure I get done. It didn't help at all. And I didn't even make $2,000 in royalties from all the sales because the publisher still got the majority of the money. So I had a dream of providing a book that I thought readers would want, an action-packed book, action-packed, with no romance, a female lead that not just female readers would want, but also male readers would want too, because I think the way that she does things is it's just unique, I thought. I look back now and I think that I should have followed that exact same formula. Don't give people what you think that they might want, what you think that would be a really unique spin, because everybody is wanting the exact same thing. Now, I might get comments saying you're wrong. We want something like this. then please read it. Please check it out. But everything I'm looking at now is telling me that I screwed up. And one of the biggest things that I screwed up on was no romance. And that hurts. If when I give advice, I always say it's a way, it's not the way. But I think no matter what, if you're going to write a book, the odds are you probably need some romance in there. Especially if you're writing a book to submit to big publishers, to have an agent represent you. I would suggest make sure you have some romance, because I think that's one of the biggest downfall. So honestly, Dark Days, and I'm going to tell you, when I got Dark Days, when it was originally printed, got that first copy in hand, ultimate high. I mean, ultimate high. I was so happy. I mean, I couldn't believe it. All these years of rejection, all of them. I mean, years of rejection, dealing with agents and dealing with companies rejecting. It was tough. And so finally I have it in hand. It's done. It's a final good. It's open, it's available to the world. Man, that was a little bit just, I was over the moon. It's exactly what we feel with every single book that we publish. Every author is going to feel that ultimate high. The problem is with me is that I don't know if I can continue her journey. I've got books 2 and 3 ready to go through another round of edits. I've got an idea of what I want for the cover art. But the problem is that I don't know if 1, it's wanted. 2, is it going to help me get my money back? I know that's a very, very selfish way to think about it, but this process is not cheap. And I have never been under any type of delusion. I never had any thought that I was going to be the next JK. My ultimate goal, especially if I had to pay to play, was I want to break even and I want to make enough to where I could keep putting the work out. And right now, no, it's not going to happen. There's nothing more that I can do to keep her journey alive. I've paid, and it's been done two rounds of editing for book 2. Book 3 has had 1 round paid for. And I'm looking at, this is going to be the type of work that makes or break me. I'm kind of broken as it is, but this would be the one that if I invest in again to put out, I need to make sure I have a last final round of edits. So how much more is this going to cost me? And that's just, it's that little sour demon that is right there because of so many negatives. It's just, it's preventing me from finishing it, because I honestly just don't know anymore if that's what it's want. Do people want to read this? I'm grateful for everybody who has read the book, but at this point, the numbers of people that have read for the book, even if every single body buys a copy for book 2, I won't even break even on book 2. With the debt that I already have, with the debt of having to get it edited again, cover design, book formatter, I just don't know. So overall, Dark Days really was a dream come true. I thought I was doing something good. I thought I was bringing a unique work into the world, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud. 7 awards. Pretty cool. But this dream has been a nightmare. It really has. I honestly could have cried when I was told that the contract was being dropped. It was heartbreaking. And then ever since then, it's been a struggle of trying to make some type of money back. And ever since then, I just keep going further in the hole. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm online. That's why I'm right now on YouTube as a whole. I wanted Polar Press and to get its name out. And hopefully this is, and not hopefully, but so far this actually has gotten more reach than any of my social media has ever gotten, ever. And it's been an amazing journey. Polar Press, its name has been spread out a little bit with Polar Press Presents because of it. I still would like to sell more books, obviously, so I can keep this journey going. But ultimately, I'm here on YouTube as a hopefully be able to monetize. I'm not gonna lie, that's gonna be a goal. But the goal for monetization is not going to be less stuffed sours pockets. Everything that I get from this is just going straight back into the books, trying to get this company off the ground. And so it- it's been tough. So hopefully all this makes sense. It's just been the journey of dark days, dreamed a nightmare, then forming my own company to now here I'm on YouTube talking about it all. Of all the goals for all this, including the monetization piece, the breaking even piece, the one goal I would have to say is a definite must is that with this booktube, learn from my mistakes. You know, I have made and keep making mistakes. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if this is even a good thing because I was advised to change Polar Press Presents to whatever with DW Sour because it because there's so little about the books on here, it takes away from Polar Press being a publisher. It takes away from me being an author. And honestly, yeah, this could be a big mistake. Maybe I should change names. But with the name change also comes with now I need to form another company and I'm looking at that's going to be hundreds of more dollars in debt and then I'm back. There's so many negatives about doing that. But also, I'm not going to lie, when I first started this, I did put out more videos on books and they weren't being viewed, and so I deleted a lot of those videos and focused on everything else. So even though this keeping Polar Press Presents might be a bad thing, I don't know. Time's going to tell. It may be a disaster. I just get to add that to the list because this entire journey has been a disaster. Honestly, it's been that I'm going to keep this title. It's been a nightmare. So I also think about another goal. There are a lot of goals for Polar Press, but one of the goals is going to end up being a publisher of a lot of different things. Like I want to do pretty much every genre that I could. Like if somebody has a good story idea and I accept it, it doesn't matter if it's going to be a kid's book. It doesn't matter if it's going to be a spicy book. It doesn't matter if it's wholesome poetry. I want to be able to do it all if I can. And that's kind of what this channel is. I'm everywhere. I'm all over the place, but I'm doing the things that I enjoy. I'm enjoying the mental reactions and I'm enjoying the other reactions. I'm enjoying uploading the gaming, even though I haven't done that in a while. I'm enjoying talking about the books. So we'll see. Is this going to be another mistake? I don't know. But regardless, I hope you learn from my mistakes. I hope we have some good interactions. And I hope if you're ever up for a read, take a chance and read the book. A book, one of the books, whatever you like, or even listen to it. I read Scream with me. So let me know what you think. Where do you think I should go? Should I keep writing? Whatever, just comment, let me know. I apologize if this has taken up a lot of your time. It's a long video, but I wanted to share the disaster that became Dark Days. And some of the things that I say it's been a disaster, I mean, there are some positives I can bring out of it. But honestly, that little sour devil is right there. Now, if you like this video, I'm going to end it just like everybody else would. Like, subscribe, comment, stick around because I'll have more coming, hopefully. Take care.